it's magical.
Magical.
When the BOI is here and he's the director producer.
I know, it's awesome.
Things work better.
I was just getting a little confused because he had his hand up getting ready to do this, and then we had another 6 people waving at us at the same time.
I don't know.
That's
if
awesome.
He was waving at us or whatever.
Go, man, go.
There you go. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're here live at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena as Sarnia Sting get ready to host the Kitchener Rangers.
Yep.
Another rivalry in the midst here. Well, not in the midst. It is a rivalry for sure. But let's talk about yesterday.
Can we not?
Well, I know, but
know,
it's part of the contract.
I'm cried out,
I didn't get a chance to watch or listen to any of it. I have talked to some that have. Certainly, we were up 3-1, right?
3-1. We
ended up losing
6-5
in the last 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. But that's why there is a clock. You can win a car race by a millisecond, and you still win.
Yeah.
So that's what that's all about. But Jacob Burrows in there again with the first goal of that game. He's someone that we seem to be seeing more and more of.
He was our first round pick this year, and I want to say I watched out for him a little bit in training camp and stuff, and I was pretty happy with how that went. Like he was a strong force. He's quick on his feet, good hands, smart hockey. I think. He's still, a young guy, right? But I think we're going to see some good things out of him.
Right.
I expect to see a lot of him this year.
Well, we've already talked about him a lot.
Especially when we got Jamison Reese, who's now out 8 weeks with an upper body injury.
Yeah.
Like that hurts.
About that in the media room, I was like,
oh, that hurts.
Yeah, but
it means it's going to provide some opportunity for some of these young guys to come up and really step up. Not that we don't already have. We know we have a young team. We know that. It's not the OAs that are going to carry us for the whole season, although certainly some of them are doing a good job, Sean Jostling, still a player to be reckoned with. Ryan McGregor, love this guy. But speaking of guy,
I was going to leave Braden Guy twice.
There's a nice segue right there, eh?
What
a guy!
We almost planned.
But he picked up a pair last night.
Yeah.
And I think, again, Guy is another one of those players who, we saw him a little bit, last year, and we saw him starting to ramp up a little bit of the physical game, and, he's one of our guys that can play well in the corners, and, he can put people off the puck, and he makes a couple of things happen, and clearly last night that really
he was there when
came
needed,
to fruition.
For sure.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, and you talk about the team playing, I'm sure you do as well, but I walk around and I talk to the fans before we go live to kind of get their.
Oh, I don't talk to any fans. I know everything there is to know right now.
Well, I don't know everything, so I have to rely on that. And I have some conversation with some of our mutual friends here, and have been here a long time as well. And they keep talking about Aiden Hughes, and then they talk about Ethan Langevin. Aiden's somebody that hasn't really played a lot, and now they seem to be putting him in on a regular basis. There's definitely, it still comes back to that Mr. Fazio is not there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he's not here, folks. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I think we're comparing to the past, and we need to focus on the now and what's coming ahead. And are they playing him more because he doesn't have enough experience?
Well, you know what? I mean, I think that, when you have an OA goaltender or you have, a senior goaltender, number one goaltender for a long period of time, and we had Fazio for 3 or 4 years, and he really grew for us, and, he was a very, very strong force and played really, really well for us. Now, to come out from in the shadow, there's an expectation that whoever was the B goalie in that case is, they're technically on the slate to step up into the big shoes once they come in. So the question really is, and it is some big shoes to fill.
Absolutely.
You know what? I mean, you can have all the defense and all the offense in the world, but you need it's a team sport. You need all three components really to come together to win hockey games. So the question really becomes, is Aiden stepping into those shoes adequately enough? And I think, we started off 3-0 with our first 3 games of the season, and I think I was very optimistic at that point. But the past 3 games, have been some struggle. We've seen maybe some challenges, and as much as our defense is playing fairly well, and our offense clearly could find the goal. The question is our goaltending where we need it to be for a long run? And
it has to be a balance, right?
Yeah, it has to be a balance.
I mean, we're not playing the blame game, and I don't think anybody on the team
not
is.
At all.
But I think they step back and look and go, okay, what caused this? Where did this come from? And more, I guess, responsibility, and how can we help each other out there if I'm making the errors?
And for sure. And the thing for me is that, I've met Aiden Hughes. He's a great kid, and I know he puts his heart into this. When you play as the secondary goalie for so long, you don't get the on ice experience as much as you probably should. So it's still just early. But clearly he's got a little bit of growth still left to go to hold down that position. And I think the longer that he waits to kind of really step into that, the more the coaching staff might be going, how long do we,
Well, there's only so many times we say at the beginning of the season, so we say, it's still early. Can't keep saying it's still early. If you look at it this way, I think I got my calculations right. To put it in perspective, there's only 30 games left.
Yeah, 100%. And you know
right?
what?
So there's preseason and preparing for that is the time to step into the game. And I think, you're in the game, now's the time to step into the game. And to move forward with, dare to compare, right? Everybody's going to do that. Those shoes are going to be looked at. But I think also in this game, there has to be a lot of conversations between the players, between the goalies, off ice, when they're hanging out, doing whatever they do, playing video games or whatever, those conversations have to come up too, right? And hard conversations, if it's a hard conversation, it's usually one that has to be had, especially with your own teammate. You don't want to put anybody down, but you got to have the hard conversations as to say, look.
And that's all I'm saying, if the fan perspective, you know what? I think there's still promise for our team. I'm not
huge.
I'm certainly not putting this thing down in any way, shape, or form.
No.
I think we've seen some positive points. We're already into some injury issues, which is providing some opportunity for the younger guys. But in terms of goaltending, we also are seeing a few of the holes that we're going to need to be able to fill in. And are there solutions for that? Yeah, I think absolutely. And I think. We're probably likely to see Ethan Langevin play a little more.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But we also want to not take an opportunity away from Aiden to really step into that as well. And I think, these are both kids. They got selected for a reason. There's some skill set there. I think it's just about, they got to bring it up another notch, and they got to prove. Every time you hit the ice is an opportunity to prove that you belong here on this team right now and doing those things. And I think, we're going to see that. I hope we're going to see them step it up.
Well,
Kitchener's going to be a tough team tonight. I know
they always are.
And
you can see some of the fans here walking around 100%. With their jerseys. There's that fan support for them, which it's always fantastic to see the
100%.
opposition team fans here as well making the trip, whether it be the bus or on their own. One of the other things about this game of hockey we talk about a lot too is that competitive spirit from the fans, right? And we talk and to relate that to the team. There's a lot of it here, and I think there's some high expectations, earned high expectations. I have to say, this team. We talked last year where the word depth came up a lot. There's still a lot of that here. There's a young team, but there's an experienced team. And there's a lot of leadership that I, in the past few years, talking to a lot of the players and the coaches, you just get a vibe from this team, that the leadership and the family atmosphere.
Yeah, you know what? I don't disagree with you at all on that. On ice, off the ice, there is a huge amount of potential, and the fans are way into this, and we're looking forward to a good season. I said it a couple of times, I'll say it again. This is only year 3 for these coaches and for this leadership team. And I think, first year, was a good start. Second year was a significant improvement. I'm not expecting that improvement's going to slouch it.
We're going up and to the right.
I think we're going up and to the. We're doing one of these, and that's a good thing. And from the fan perspective, we're into it as well. So we're there.
All right, well, there you have it. Coming up here in about 5 minutes' time, we'll get things underway here at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. Yeah, you hear the fans. They're getting excited as they introduce the players coming up here in just a few moments. Kitchener Rangers, another tough team here. Seems like they've been playing a lot of their tough teams at the beginning of this season. Maybe that's a good thing to
100%.
feel some things out, get the hurt out of the way, if you will.
Yeah.
Again, you talk about Jamison Reese. He's disappeared for a little bit, so there's lots of opportunity there again for some of these new players.
But I would expect the Sting to come out playing hard right off the hop tonight.
I think they're going to have
first period is going to set the tone, I think.
Yeah.
But we can't afford to give away leads. That's the other thing I wanted to get. The last night's game, or the other night's game against Guelph, we were up 3-1. We can't afford to give those away.
No.
We just can't. So, I'm looking for the Sting to come out hard and play a full 3 periods of good, hard, strong
that's what
hockey,
the clock is there for, right?
100%.
All right, well, hopefully we have that positive update for you when we come back here at first period intermission. We're going to have some of our local hockey players, or little guy hockey players, they're going to be joining me here talking about their thoughts on Sarnia Sting, and then we'll welcome Jay Peckham back here again for second period intermission. And as always, we'll have the post-game wrap-up here down in the Players' Lounge. Maybe we can get you down there one of these times, too. I think you should get down there and talk to the players. Maybe tell them. Anyway,
we'll see.
We'll see. You have to wear a tie when you go in that room.
Oh, for crying out loud.
All right, keep watching everybody on all the social medias as we keep you updated during the period play here as well. And again, we'll be back here first period intermission. For the show live on location, I'm David Burrows for the Video Show Network as well, and my friend Jay Peckham.
Go Sting, go!
Talk to you soon.